What's up, everybody? Jensen Cummings here. Thank you for tuning in. Great show today. We have Nikky Phinyawatana. How'd I do?
Perfect. Sawadee ka.
Ooh. With the first name Jensen, people mispronounce my name all the time. I'm very sensitive to it. So Nikky is the proprietor of Asian Mint, as well as Nikky Feeding Souls in Dallas, Texas. Thank you so much for taking some time.
I'm so honored to be here. Thank you for having me on your amazing show. I've been watching your shows and they're very, very inspiring. So it is a true honor for me.
I love it. And there's been a lot of them. You're episode 80 since all this started. I have not missed a day. Just hustle and communicate. That's all I know how to do. And so you've been doing a lot of that as well. That's what caught our attention is we're spent a lot of time scouring social media, looking for people that have a positive message, that are grinding and making shit happen in this industry is really important. And so I wanted to have you on to first kind of tell us a little bit about your background, and then we'll get into kind of what you're doing now, and then some hopes and aspirations for the future of the industry, because we know it's going to look very differently. But take us back a little bit and give us your background, kind of the origin story a little bit.
Okay. Well, I was born on, no, just kidding. I've been in the restaurant business for over 20 years. I have a restaurant group called Asian Mint Restaurant here in the Dallas area. We've been around for 15 years. And we are basically the #1 Thai restaurant. And we're so proud to be feeding the Dallas-Fort Worth area with great, fresh Asian cuisine, with a big focus on Bangkok Thai style, as I am from Bangkok, grew up there, half Thai, half Texan, a good mix. And wow. Came up through not knowing anything about the restaurant business at all, but realized that I love to serve, I love to feed, and it all just kind of rounded out together when I was 27. I'm like, what am I going to do with my life? I want to end up on the beach with a resort, small B&B one day. And I'm like, hey, let's just do a little restaurant. Anything that I learned from that, I'm going to be able to apply to what I want to be doing at the rest of my life. And years in, still doing it. Also, somebody told me that whatever you do, don't go into the restaurant business. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start there and work myself backwards. But we're doing it and loving it, and realizing that it has been my true calling and mission that, you know, how can I really make a change or make a difference in this world is really through feeding people.
It's a crazy industry. So I would probably agree with those people. People ask me all the time, like, how do I get in the restaurant industry? You don't. Please don't do it. So I appreciate that. But when you find that calling, that purpose,
everybody says that. Everybody's like, and I think that's kind of like the test also, like you're honest. You like, hey, yes, you have to be 150% in or none, because it's not going to happen any other way. We're
so true.
In a way.
So take us back 15 years. Well, you know, the first place that I think of when I think of Thai cuisine is not necessarily Dallas. And 15 years ago, not even a lot of places around the country. When I grew up in Southern California, it was part of the culture that we saw a lot. And I remember eating at Thai Garden, shout out to Thai Garden in Oceanside, California, 20 years ago. But even that was a rarity. So take us back 15 years. Was it hard to break in with Thai food in Dallas, Texas?
I love that you brought that up. So 15 years ago, not that many people knew what Thai food was all about, like real Thai food that I grew up eating. You have, you know, your mom and pop restaurants, but we realized that, or I realized that there's not a Thai restaurant that's around that is full circle. You have a bar, you have an amazing wine list. We have an amazing wine list that is focused on sustainability as well as women-owned and local as much as possible. Also, you know, you go to these restaurants, you go have a meal, and that's it. I want it to be all the way from your drinks to the end, which is my true passion, which is pastries. And I created a whole Asian fusion line of Thai/Asian fusion desserts. And, you know, to have an amazing cup of cappuccino at the end of your meal. I don't like it when somebody said, I'm going to go eat Thai food here, and then we're going to go end up somewhere else. Now it is a trend, but 15 years ago, I really actually wanted to open a dessert bar. But if you think about it, it really doesn't really make sense economically. My entrepreneurial business mind kicked in and said, you know what, let's just get it straight from beginning to end. And like you said, Thai cuisine 15 years ago was not well known. Everybody here knows Chinese food. They know orange chicken, Mongolian beef, your lo mein. And we actually...
They're actually American dishes, not even Chinese dishes, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so true.
General Tso's chicken and fortune cookies are not Chinese at all, but we digress. But you have the same kind of challenge of like, how do you stay true to Bangkok, your namesake, your heritage, and find a way to bring in the culture that is very much not understanding where you're coming from, because they're going to go, well, this doesn't taste like Asian food. Well, it doesn't taste like orange chicken.
Yes.
This is pad see ew. There's a lot of fish sauce and a lot of sweet soy. It's completely different. So how did you bridge that gap? Was there a moment? Was there a dish? How did you go about that?
It's very purposeful. So basically, our slogan of our restaurant is actually Asian Fusion, fresh Asian fusion. Originally, it was Asian Fusion Cafe and Dessert Bar. And as we revolutionized to who we are today, we're now Fresh Asian Fusion. And we went back and forth for the longest time. Are we going to now start claiming ourselves Thai Fusion? Are we Thai or what? I'm like, you know what? We're known for Asian Fusion. They know I'm from Bangkok. Most of my staff are from Southeast Asia. And the gap is, we realized that we needed a menu to break people in, just like you said. Let's get them in with the orange chicken. Let's get them in with the Mongolian beef, the chicken teriyaki, the lo mein. And once they come in and they have experienced pad Thai, a Thai fried rice, our curries, then they'll be like, oh my God, this is so much fresher. There's a lot more flavor. It's like mostly the ingredients that shine. And then they're like, wow, I actually like Thai food. I never knew what Thai food was, but now I understand. And it just kind of education, like you said. And it's been really fun to really get people to understand what Thai cuisine is all about.
So you had to build that trust and kind of where they were at currently and then migrate. So obviously, I'm sure that starting out, the majority of your sales came from those well-known, well-established type dishes. And slowly but surely, you built people towards the Thai side of things. Did that take a long time?
Not really. I would have to say people realize when we design our menu, we also highlight like our whole pad Thai section. I had 4 different kinds of pad Thai. I actually worked in a couple of Thai restaurants before coming in. So realizing, what are the big Thai dishes that are well known, let's highlight them. Let's make them beautiful. And once they taste it, it's now their new comfort food. People come into the restaurant all the time and say, I'm craving the pad Thai because it feeds the soul. It's like, your burgers and fries, but now it's a pad Thai, it's a red curry, it's a fried rice, it's a steamed sea bass. It's pretty cool.
So then that's a perfect segue. Well done into feeding. Nikky feeding souls, right? So what does that mean for you? You just mentioned feeding somebody's soul. It's comfort food. It may not look like the foods that you grew up with, but it still creates that same emotion, that same connection to your history, to the way your body feels, to the people around you. Mm-hmm. So what is Nikky Feeding Souls, and then why is that so important to you?
Wow. So Nikky Feeding Soul came about literally only a year ago in the beginning of 2019. I went soul searching, and this was after I had my second child in about 2015 or so. It was a time when I realized, I'm done having kids. How am I going to leave this world in a better place for my kids or the next generation? And I realized that after I looked back, the people who come into our restaurant, it wasn't just about the food. It's about the atmosphere, it's the feeling when you come in, you have this Zen feel, you feel taken care of. It's really a friendly atmosphere and very chill, very Thai, very Zen. And it just goes deep. And I decided, I opened 4 restaurants. So now I'm like, I can't be everywhere for everyone. I miss that. And I'm like, what can I do to still be in contact with all my guests? And I don't feel bad for not being one location and not the next. And I'm like, we got to go online. So I created a lifestyle brand called Feeding Souls. And that's really truly is my mission right now. And I am enjoying inspiring people, not just through the restaurant, but now through cooking online. I have travel tours to Southeast Asia starting in Thailand.
Cool.
I have shows to get people motivated and inspired and really educating them. What is Thailand all about right now? What is the street food? I take you to eat street food all the way to Michelin star restaurants. We go and hit all the highlights. We really, what I want people to understand is why is Thai restaurants have different flavor profiles in different restaurants as well.
Let me pause you. I'm getting the text that we're wonky. Hold on.
Got it.
We're gonna make these robots work. So many of us on the interwebs right now. Poor connectivity just lets us down. So, all right. So you really want people to know the breadth and the depth of Thai cuisine. I'm absolutely in love with what you said, from Michelin star to the little hawker stand, everything in between. I talk about a lot that I have eaten in Michelin stars all over the country, other countries, and down to little dumpling shops. The experience and the price point, very different. Yet the feeling I get, like I get the same goosebumps when I have a $300 meal or when I have a dumpling that costs $3 and a nickel. It's like, because they just deliver on who they are to the fullest. And so I really, really appreciate that.
It feeds your soul.
It's feeding your soul, because it's a reflection of their soul being fed and me feeding off of their energy through one bite of food. That's all that food is, which I think is really, really important. So now you're on this path, Nikky Feeding Souls. You have a way to express yourselves beyond just the four walls of your restaurant, right? Mm-hmm. And that to me feels like why you're on this show right now, that we saw you just hustling and being motivated and staying positive, even though this shit is crazy and your businesses, I'm sure, are struggling and all of that. Why in this moment is Nikky Feeding Souls and the work that you're doing so important and so impactful?
Wow, that's such a great question. So I really do it because it actually feeds my soul. And if I know that if I can literally inspire just one person to go out and change the world in the best way possible that they were meant to, my work is done. It's not about everybody. It's just like that one person who you can touch their soul, no matter if it's through food, a show, an inspiration, one of these talks. And it makes them go like, wow, you know what? I'm now going to go follow my dreams or my passion or my mission to make this world a better place. And then all of us together as a community, as a whole, we can make a difference. So when somebody says, I'm just one person, how can I make a difference? I believe that we can. It's all the little pieces, just like a business. You can't run by yourself. I would not be who I am today without my team, without my people. I thank them every day. I go in and say hi and how you doing? What's up? How can I help you? And with that, it's about the whole, and we're a part of a whole, not just one.
Oh, I love it. We call them unsung hospitality heroes. It's literally why I started this show. Is one, I've spent a lot of time trying to empower people at every level, and every time I've failed, it's because I took people for granted. And so this is a moment, an opportunity to just share and hustle and communicate. And again, if one person every day, somebody reaches out to me, like literally we're just on and somebody hit me up I see my phone and somebody hit me up and said, hey, I want to introduce you to somebody. That's all I could read. And I was like, yes, please. I would love for you to introduce me to somebody who introduces me to somebody who connects me with Nikky, and Nikky is on the show and we get to have a conversation that has an impact on one person. Like, I just love it. I love it. It's so important. And so tell us though, specifically in this moment, kind of what are you doing? I want people to know kind of some of the things that are capturing my attention and I think a lot of people's attention. So what's happening in this moment specifically?
So I really had to take care of my staff first and foremost. When this all happened, about a week prior, we knew something was coming. We didn't know what was coming. Are we going to be shut down completely? Is it just the dining rooms? Like, what's going on? Texas got hit a little bit later than California, so we kind of saw what the wave was. We were just waiting to hear. Once they said you have to close down your dining room, but you can continue to do takeout and curbside, I'm like, awesome. Let's do that. And then I asked my staff, okay, guys, what do you want to do? Do you want to keep working? And they're like, we got bills to pay. I'm like, awesome. Then I'm going to create a new product line somehow so that we can all stay busy. I can keep if not all of you. Actually, I kept everybody on staff who was willing to work. We switched some shifts up and down. But everybody's on payroll, is making money, because it's not just their mouth they're feeding, it's the entire family, So we created this product line. I'm so proud of Chef meal prep kits. And my goal was, how can I recreate fresh food coming out of a hot pan in your home? You can do takeout all day long, but it's that hot food out of a wok that you're gonna miss. So let's pack it up, create some recipes, do some videos, let's talk about this. And everybody overwhelmingly said, oh my God, that's such a great idea. I have something to do with my family, cooking together. What family cooks together, eats together, stays together. And to be able to do it with a dish that they have fallen in love, that already nourishes their soul, took it to another level. The feedback that I got on Facebook was, and they're like, oh my God, Nikki, I was having such a bad day, but once I accomplished creating a meal with your kit, it just fulfilled my day. And I'm like, how awesome. Who would have thought that was going to happen that way? So it was a
it's so great, because you're creating that moment for them, just like when we create a dish and you get to see somebody enjoy it because it's your creation. They get to have that moment for themselves in a simple way, and you make it simple for them. I really, really appreciate that. So your team clearly means a lot to you, was very motivated to kind of stay active through this time. How do you keep the momentum going? It is such a grind and a struggle right now. It's so different. We're so used to face-to-face interaction, being shoulder to shoulder in the kitchen. And right now it just feels like it's a challenge to be kind of who we are as humans, what's in our DNA. How do you keep the team motivated? How do they stay focused during this?
It really is all about, like you said, everybody adjusted really fast, and our team was the same. So we were meeting all our managers once a month. Once this happened, we're like, I miss you. I hope you miss me as much as I miss you. I can't run to all the locations. So we started doing that a week, and we've been doing it for 2 months now. And I asked the team last week and said, okay, not that this is coming to an end, can you guys rate our Zoom meetings? Everyone gave it an 8 and above, and they said, can you please continue to do this? I really enjoy hearing different experiences from different restaurants, different lessons, and how they're taking care of their guests. And I'm like, oh my God, that's all I needed to hear, and I'm going to keep doing this forever. We need that connectivity. We're in the hospitality industry. We need, we can't touch and hug, but we can still communicate and talk about what we love, which is food, serving people. And that really was all we really needed. I still go to all the restaurants. My husband goes and closes every night. I check in because he's like, I don't have to come to the door, but how you guys doing? How is today?
Yeah.
That's I say hi and say thank you to everybody, looking in the eye, and we can't hug, we can't touch, we can't fist bump. We're just saying, how are you? I hear you, I see you, I appreciate you, I thank you. See you tomorrow. We're doing this together.
Yeah, just that acknowledgement is so important. It's fascinating, having spent so much time in the kitchen. We almost we want the acknowledgement, but sometimes we don't even care if the acknowledgement is positive. We like to feed off bad news sometimes more than good news in the restaurant. We're so used to, we're long on this table, refire this. This is getting sent back, and we just figure it out. Versus sometimes we say everything was good. We go, wait a minute. What do you mean everything was good? That sounds like you're just telling us what we want to hear. So I'm fascinated in the way that we communicate within the kitchens. All right, I want to touch on some of your thoughts. As such an entrepreneur, you're doing the pivot, whatever that means, to the nth degree for sure. Now that your entrepreneur mind is going and thinking reopening, thinking the future, thinking how different things are going to be, what are some of the challenges? What are some of the hopes that you have? Or what are some of the tactics that you're actually looking to deploy kind of moving forward?
So we just came off of our executive meeting that we haven't had in a while, and we're really debating on when we're going to open. We still want to keep our staff safe. We want to make sure our staff feels safe. You know, we did open when it was 25% allowed, which is like about 2 weeks ago. I believe that was May 1st. We're now on May 18th. They said this Friday you can do 50%. We're still not ready. Our staff's not ready. Our takeout business, we're doing good. We're still down in half, but enough just to serve flow and coast. And people are happy. But I know eventually we do have to reopen. And our thought process is, you know, we have to get mentally prepared. If we're not mentally prepared, we're not going to perform well, and we can't stay safe. My number one priority is safety and sanitation. We have to come out with a game plan. It's a whole other game plan now. It's not just like, let's reopen and do what we're doing. It's not the same. So we have to have teams in place. Let's figure out how we want to open, how many locations we're going to open, how much are we going to open, how we're going to set it up, who's going to work, you know, who we're bringing up on staff, who wants to come back to work. There's so many different groups. We're thinking June, honestly, and that's only about 3.5 weeks away. But
sorry, Nikki, I got another text. Hold on. You're a little wonky.
Okay.
Is the word of the day. Hold on a second. It's always something.
At least you can fix it immediately.
Yeah. It's like it's giving us like 10 minutes right now, and then it's going, no. You've had enough time to talk to each other. So give somebody else a turn. So
next.
Yeah. So you're thinking June, and to your point, I mean, I think about it like you're opening a restaurant again. And it usually takes 2 weeks and multiple soft openings and friends and family night and media night and all these different things when you know what the hell you're doing. Right now, we don't know what we're doing exactly. We kind of have a good foundation because we understand safety and sanitation in restaurants, but it's going to be heightened to a degree we've never encountered before. And the expectation, not just for us, but more importantly, potentially for the guest and how they navigate this. And how do you take somebody's temperature and require them to have a mask on until they're eating and be distanced in a certain way and have that still feel natural is going to be a challenge. So give us a couple more thoughts when you're thinking about that, how you're going to navigate that.
Just talking about this, I'm bringing out my Asian cue. You know, us Asians, we've been wearing masks for 10 years. We were the ones who were always wearing masks because we were sick. You know, we don't want to get other people sick. We're always in a close, and we're like, you know, the grandmas are always wearing masks. Now we're like, now you know why. They don't want to get sick. They don't want to get anybody else sick. So I'm pulling my Asian card, and we're going all the way. Wearing masks when you walk in. You can only take it off if you're sitting at the table. All of our staff are going to be wearing masks. I don't know to what extent. We're going to be doing gloves, cleaning, sanitizing, schedule. We're working we've already have all our tables separated. Now we're going to are we going to divide? Like, what are we going to do? How are we going to manipulate the pathway for takeout people versus dine-in? I don't want them really to be coming in the same door. How am I going to keep the takeout people on one side? I have 2 locations that I have windows, so I'm going to move them to one side. We're going to only open one side. We have another location, doesn't have a window, but fortunately we have a takeout area. So we're going to have to eat into the other side of the dining room so that they can come in and go out the other side. We were talking about that. We've been talking about, the bar. You know, if the bar is where the hub for all the takeout, How are we going to deal? We might not be able to open the bar for sit down and dine in because it's going to be so busy with all the takeout. So we're still figuring that out too. So there's like multiple, how are we going to compartmentalize the small restaurants into doing two separate businesses and also staying safe? So those are just like above the water ideas and thought processes that we're going through right now.
I think what we're talking about now is maybe the most fundamentally important part about this process is the thoughtfulness and the communication that goes into that internally for your team. And then guests are going to want to know exactly what you're doing, because the old adage of people don't want to see how the sausage is made, they want to see exactly how the sausage is made right now. They want to know everything that you're doing. And those who are the best at communicating that, they have an opportunity to win at this challenging new game that is hospitality. So I really appreciate that, because I know you're going to do two things. You're going to communicate well with your team. You're going to actually three things. You're going to have that entrepreneurial hustle and just figure it out. And you're going to communicate with your audience. And that's the thing that I want people to really hear when they're in the industry, or if they're potential guests, is that level of communication and thoughtfulness and creativity is what we're built upon. And it's going to be more important than ever. I love it. Nikky, any last thoughts that you have for us? Any shout outs that you want to give to some of your executive level team or anybody in the stores who right now need to hear that they matter?
Always. My entire team, everybody who has stepped up, who has just really been living out our Mint values. So we have our Mint value system. I recommend everybody to have them. No matter if you have a team of 1 or 2 or 3 or 500, you need to have a value system. And with that, it keeps us all in queue. Every time we start a meeting, we start it with our values. So we set and tone, really zoom in and cue in to like, we're here together. We're here as a team. So our Mint, it spells out MINT. Mint, M is for modern. So we're always, innovative and making sure that we take care of our everyone. I is inspire. We're all about inspiring our Mint fanatics, which is our customers, with great Asian food. N is for nurture. So it's all about the responsibility of us nurturing the team, taking care of family, fiscal responsibility, all of that. And T is for togetherness, for teamwork, to make the dream work while having fun in the process. And as long as we're all doing that, then we know that we are moving in the right direction. We're all on the same path. We're focused, and we're here to serve and feed souls. So I would encourage everybody in the industry to do something, create your values, what is most important, and go with that.
You're my hero. This is so important.
What are you talking about?
So important for people to listen to, because it really, really matters. The things that go without saying, they don't. You say them most often, most loud, and most importantly. And so this will show the thesis is for us to value and focus on why and who before what and how. And to the point you just made, we get so chummed up in the minutia of what we do and how we do it. It's not actually what matters. It's why we get out of bed in the morning, especially in a crazy time like this, and do what we do, and who it is we serve, and who's in the trenches, like who's gotten us to this point. That's what matters. So I really am grateful to hear you say that. It's so important. Nikky Phinyawatana, thank you so much for being on the show, and thanks for the leadership and the communication that you're showing right now.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
All right. You have a great day. Take care. Man, it feels like every day we're having issues with technology. So I'm grateful for everyone that's watching. So many people are on the internet right now, and I'm sure this is a high traffic time, but I'm grateful for the resets that we get to do it seems like every show now. But hopefully we still get enough of the essence of the story out to you, and it brings value. We're going to start to cut together these videos a little bit and have some clips and excerpts that really encapsulate the message of each of these episodes, all 80 of them, which mean a lot. We're also coming up, watch out for this, we're going to be putting all the audio directly onto our podcast platforms on Anchor and our website, so that people can enjoy that purely in audio, as we've been just hustling and doing live videos, which was important to me. So all of that, Nikky Phinyawatana. It's just amazing, the positive energy, but like a real entrepreneur, being thoughtful and creative, and business savvy and fiscally responsible while still inspiring and feeding souls. It's a very important message. Mint. Having your core values, it really, really does matter. So tomorrow's episode, noon Mountain, 2 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to have Adrian Miller, who is the soul food scholar based out of Denver. And he's working on a new book that caught my attention, Black Smoke, where he is talking about the history of African-American Black chefs in American barbecue. I cannot wait for that book. Already saw a little glimpse of kind of some of the research that he's doing. So that is going to be a really cool show. He is a James Beard Award-winning author. So excited about that. All right, everybody, go out there and figure out your core values, even for yourself.